I meet all kinds of people who don't enjoy what they do. They simply go through their lives getting on with it. They get no great pleasure from what they do. They endure it rather than enjoy it and wait for the weekend. But I also meet people who love what they do and couldn't imagine doing anything else. If you said to them, don't do this anymore, they'd wonder what you were talking about. Because it isn't what they do, it's who they are. They say, but this is me. You know, it would be foolish for me to abandon this because it speaks to my most authentic self. And it's not true of enough people. In fact, on the contrary, I think it's still true of a minority of people. And human resources are like natural resources. They're often buried deep. You have to go looking for them. They're not just lying around on the surface. You have to create the circumstances where they show themselves.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough.
The thing is, if you think of the chances of you being born at all, they're pretty remote, right, statistically. All the people you had to meet in what circumstances. Think how you met your partner if you have one. The circumstances are pretty remote. Think of the things you do and how that came about. Your whole life is composed by the choices you make, the turnings you move towards, the ones you turn away from, the chances you're prepared to risk, the way you deal with your fear or you don't. And in the process, you create a life of some sort. And it's a miracle. And it amazes me how little people settle for very often. They go through the whole of their lives in a state of anxiety, thinking, well, if I try it, it won't work. And anyone who ever achieved anything in their lives was prepared to be wrong and make a mistake and try it. And that's how culture progresses, how our lives progress. It's how you build a legacy and have a life in the process. Because we live in a virtual world. We live in the world of ideas. We live in a world of thoughts and feelings and theories and possibilities. And it's the old maxim that nothing is so powerful as an idea whose time has come. And nothing is so influential as a life well lived.